Hey there, and welcome back to Scripted Fear, where every story is stitched from shadow and every legend dares you to look a little closer. If you're new here, we dive deep into the chilling, the cursed, and the creatures that still haunt our world today, all crafted with a dose of dread and a script you won't forget. In today's video, we're heading down to Texas to a bridge that's whispered about in hushed tones, Old Alton Bridge. Or as it's more famously known, Goatman's Bridge, is more than just an urban legend. This one comes with a noose, a creature, and the kind of rage that doesn't stay buried. So dim the lights, lock your doors, and whatever you do, don't knock 3 times. This is Scripted Fear, and you're watching the legend of Goatman's Bridge. Now hit that like button, subscribe, and dare a friend to watch it at midnight. Let's dive in. There's a place deep in the woods of Denton County, Texas, where iron and timber hold more than just history. They hold secrets. Secrets older than the roads that lead there, older than the town that once flourished and faded into memory. This is Old Alton Bridge, but if you ask the locals or anyone brave enough to visit after dark, they'll call it something else, Goatman's Bridge, a name that sends a chill down your spine, even if you've never heard the full story. A name whispered in dare games at sleepovers, scribbled on the margins of urban legend forums, repeated by trembling voices on ghost tours. Tonight, I'm going to take you beyond the surface, past the twisted folklore, and deep into the haunted marrow of Goatman's Bridge. You'll learn the history, the legend, and the horrifying accounts of those who walked too close to the edge and never felt the same again. It began as many cursed places do, with something ordinary. In 1884, a one-lane iron truss bridge was constructed over Hickory Creek in Denton County. Commissioned by the King Iron Bridge Manufacturing Company, it was built to connect the town of Denton to the then bustling seat of Alton. Alton, however, didn't last. Within a few years, it was gone. The town dissolved, records scattered, and families moved elsewhere. Alton's brief life was marked by tension and violence. The courthouse, once bustling, fell silent. The people who lived there spoke of strange noises from the woods, of things moving just beyond the lantern light. One farmer wrote in a letter, "The nights here feel wrong, like something watches from a creek. All that remains today is a cemetery and a rusting bridge." But something lingered, not in the beams or bolts, but beneath. The land, the creek, the woods around it, they remember. Drivers were instructed to honk before crossing, as the bridge was too narrow for 2 cars. Later, this honking became ritual, part of the folklore, a signal to the dead, a calling to whatever walks in the dark. By the 1990s, the bridge showed its age. A new one was built nearby. The old structure was closed to vehicles in 2001, but that only intensified the legend. The stillness, the isolation, the silence thick enough to suffocate. Visitors reported a shift in air pressure. Birds fell silent. Phones lost signal. Some said crossing the bridge felt like stepping out of time itself. Locals began to tell stories about sounds echoing when no one else was around, about cold spots even in the Texas summer. They say the bridge groans at night, not from rust but from memory, from the weight of what's been done there. In the 1930s, a goat farmer named Oscar Washburn lived near the bridge. An African-American man, known for the quality of his livestock and for being a hard-working businessman. He posted a wooden sign on the bridge, "This way to the Goatman." That pride, that visibility, it painted a target on his back. Local Klansmen, enraged by his audacity and success, decided to silence him. One summer night, they crossed the bridge without headlights, stormed his home, and dragged him back to the bridge. They placed a noose around his neck and threw him over the side. But when they looked down, he was gone. The rope hung loose. The creek below undisturbed. In a panic, they returned to his home. His wife, his children. They barricaded the door and set it ablaze. Screams echoed into the night, then silence. Oscar Washburn was never found, but something else rose in his place. Reports came in from local farmers. Livestock found mutilated, hoof prints in places no goat could reach. One child spoke of seeing a horn man by the river. Another swore the creature stood in the road and vanished as the car approached. Oscar had vanished, but the Goatman had appeared, and each new generation seems to have their own story about him. As if the Goatman doesn't just persist. He adapts. He grows. Not long after, sightings began. A monstrous figure, part man, part goat, appeared near the bridge. Red eyes that glowed like coals. Hoofed feet that echoed on iron. A creature said to be born of vengeance and flame. Some said it was Washburn, twisted by rage and dark magic. Others claimed it was something older, a demon drawn to suffering. There's an alternate origin, one even older. In the 1860s, during the chaos of the Civil War, a man named Jack Kendall, a freedman, was lynched by outlaws. His head was torn from his body during the hanging and lost to the river. But the body rose, guided by darkness. It found a goat, killed it, and placed its head upon its shoulders. Whether it's Jack, Oscar, or something else entirely, something walks that bridge, and it remembers. Locals began leaving offerings on the bridge. Flowers, coins, candles. Some claimed doing so kept the Goatman at bay. Others said it was a sign of respect or fear. Even today, there are candles burned on its rails, sigils scratched into the wood, and warnings, don't knock, don't speak his name. Visitors began to whisper of strange happenings. Knock 3 times on the bridge rail and call his name. That was the dare. Some say nothing happened right away, but the horror began after they returned home. One teenager found hoof prints circling her house. Another reported waking up with scratches down her back. A woman said she heard her name whispered in the dead of night, not once, but over and over, always from a different direction. When she moved houses, it followed her. Her dog refused to go near the bedroom window for weeks. Paranormal investigators brought cameras and EVP devices. Some captured horrific growls, ghostly crying, or static that morphed into a screaming goat. One team reported their equipment died within seconds of stepping onto the bridge. The backup batteries dead. The flashlights flickered out. They heard something walking behind them, slow and deliberate. But when they turned around, there was nothing. Only darkness. Real-life witness quotes. I knocked 3 times, said his name, and laughed. Thought it was a joke. That night, I saw something in the corner of my room. Just standing, watching. I didn't sleep for a week. I've never been religious, but after that trip, I started carrying a rosary. The EVP we captured still haunts me. It whispered my name, not once but twice. Carla B., Fort Worth. We saw red eyes in the trees. They didn't blink. They didn't move. Just stared. Anonymous Reddit user. It wasn't just a shadow. It felt like something hated me. I got physically ill halfway across the bridge, and the nightmares haven't stopped since. Luis G. Austin. More than just stories. These encounters, these symptoms, they linger. People have left that bridge with their lives forever changed. Some suffer insomnia. Others see things in mirrors that aren't there. And a few go missing entirely. Cell phone footage has emerged. Shaky videos showing shadowy figures darting across the frame. Unexplained howls. Chilling distortions. One video shows a group of teens knocking and laughing until a shadow darts past behind them. The screen glitches. The video ends. None of the teens would speak about that night again. Local law enforcement denies any supernatural link. But officers have admitted, off record, that they hate patrolling near the bridge. One said, "It's always colder there, like it pulls something out of you." EVP specialists return with recordings they don't understand. Some include languages that don't match anything on record. One said the voice on his tape wasn't human. Goatman's bridge isn't just haunted, it's hungry. Not every spirit near the bridge bears horns. Some bear sorrow. There's another entity often seen near the edges of the water, the woman in white. A translucent figure in tattered robes, often spotted crying beneath the trees or staring into the creek. Some say it's Washburn's wife, eternally searching for the children taken from her that night. Others think she's unrelated, a separate tragedy bound to the cursed land. She vanishes when approached. but sometimes she screams. A piercing, soul-twisting wail that forces even the bravest ghost hunters to flee. One visitor saw her and described it this way. Her face wasn't all there. It shifted. It kept changing. 1 second she was crying. The next, she was grinning. A darker pattern has emerged. Disappearances. Over the decades, dozens of people have vanished near the bridge. Their cars found abandoned. Phones left recording with hours of static. Backpacks zipped and untouched. In 2018, a local teen, Lermont Stowers Jones, was found drowned. His friends say he was dared to knock 3 times to summon the Goatman. He went alone. The autopsy ruled it accidental. But his shoes were dry. In 2023, a man named Alan Wilson was found dead in the nearby gravel lot. Shot execution style. No suspect. No motive. No footprints. Just his car still running. Locals whisper that some deaths near Goatman's Bridge aren't crimes. They're sacrifices. As the legend grew, so did the attention. Goatman's Bridge has been featured on shows like Ghost Adventures and BuzzFeed Unsolved. Investigators claim they left shaken, equipment fried, voices caught on tape, and a sensation like something pressing on their chests. YouTubers, influencers, thrill seekers, they all come. Some leave laughing, some leave crying, and some never upload again. One video, since deleted, allegedly showed a figure watching from beneath the bridge. The uploader claimed their entire channel began acting up, videos vanishing, timestamps changing. To this day, no one can explain it. So what is the Goatman? A tormented soul? A vengeful spirit? A demon summoned by ritual? Some believe it's a tulpa, a being formed entirely by belief. That decades of fear, stories, and rituals gave it shape. Others think of the guardian, punishing evil. And some say it has no rules, no morality, only rage. Occultists claim the area around the bridge is a node, a place where energy pools, a hotspot for manifestation. Whether folklore or fact, enough people believe in the Goatman that belief itself may have made him real. So now that you know the legend, the history, the horror, the blood, would you knock? Would you say his name? Would you cross that bridge alone at night? Some say the Goatman only comes for those with hate in their hearts. Others say he comes for everyone eventually. But the truth is this. If you hear hooves behind you when no one's there, if the air turns cold in the dead of summer, if you see red eyes in the trees, run. As the story spreads through whispers and word of mouth, so too has it infected the digital age. On forums like Reddit's r/paranormal and obscure message boards across the deep web, users share encounters in hushed text. Shadowy figures in the background of Snapchat stories. Goat-like silhouettes caught on Ring cameras. Twitch streamers have accidentally captured eerie whispering, only to later find their audio tracks mysteriously corrupted. TikTok creators post 3 knock challenges, most of them staged for clicks, but a few seem disturbingly real. One viral clip shows a girl laughing after knocking 3 times, only to freeze. Her face drops. The screen shakes. The video ends with a scream, then silence. Another user posted a live stream from the bridge at 2:33 a.m. The comments were laughing, until the camera went dark. When it came back on, the user was gone. All that remained was the sound of hoof beats and an empty bridge under the moon. The Goatman, it seems, has adapted. He lives not only in woods and legends, but in data, in glitch, in corrupted files, and whispered names buried in metadata. He is not bound by place, only by memory. And in a world where everything is recorded, everything is remembered. So tonight, when you're scrolling alone, earbuds in, and the room grows a little too quiet, ask yourself, is that static in your audio, or is he trying to get through? So what now? Is Goatman's Bridge just a spooky landmark for thrill seekers? A legend twisted by time? Or is it something more? A window, a scar, a warning? Local elders say you should never cross the bridge alone. Some still leave offerings, flowers wilted by the time morning comes. Paranormal investigators come and go, but none stay long. Something always seems to drive them away. Recent reports from rangers note that wildlife steers clear of the bridge. Trail cams mysteriously shut down. Batteries drained inexplicably. One ranger noted in a log, "The air feels thicker there, like breathing through ash." Even skeptics feel it, a heaviness that follows them home. Nightmares, whispers, hoofbeats on rooftops. So as the sun dips behind the trees and the wind curls like fingers around the old iron rails, remember this. You can laugh at legends. You can dismiss stories. But Goatman's Bridge doesn't care what you believe. It only cares that you came. And once you do, it may never let you go.